For illustration of multiple linear regression, I will use the same dataset, online shopping habits. Conduct the multiple linear regression to explore factors that influence online shopping habits. In this case, the habits is the average score of dimension online shopping habits. The independent variables are convenience, informative, cost, time, and security. This is the guideline on how to run the multiple linear regression via SPSS. Okay, you can go to analyze and then choose regression and then click to linear. The dependent variable is the habits. And then the independent variable are the convenience, informative, time, cost, and security. And then you can choose method is either enter meaning that you add all the independent variable to the model. Stepwise is the one of the method of how to include and exclude the independent variable to the model, remove backward and forward. In this case, I will use enter. And then you can click statistic. Okay, choose collinearity diagnostic to check whether there is a multi-collinearity problem. And then click plot to check whether the error terms are normally distributed or not. We plot Z receipt over Z predict. And then you can also produce the normal probability plot to check whether the error terms are normally distributed. Click continue and then OK. These are the output of the multiple linear regression model. First, we need to determine whether all the assumptions are satisfied or not. This is the assumption that pertaining to the error terms. Okay, remember, we need to ensure that the residuals are normally distributed. The normal PP plot will determine whether the error terms are normally distributed or not. And then this regression standardized residual versus the regression standardized predicted value will determine whether the variance are constant or not. Okay, and then the third assumptions, there's supposed to be no multicollinearity problem. So this can be determined by the tolerance and the VIF. Okay, the value of VIF must be less than 10. Okay, to indicate that there is no multicollinearity problem. So you can refer to this on the interpretation. The normal probability plot shows that the residuals are normally distributed. There is no random pattern in scatter plot, which indicates the residuals have constant variance independent of each other and linearly related. No outliers, okay, exceed 3.3 or less than negative 3.3. Okay, this one. This satisfied the assumptions of zero mean. All tolerance are more than 0.1, which indicates multicollinearity assumption is not violated, and also the VIF value less than 10. And then based on all evidence stated, all regression assumptions have been satisfied. Okay, and then this is the model estimation. You can report the value of R squared. Okay, the value of R squared is 0.981. Okay, so you can see that the regression model explained 98.1%. Sorry, this is a mistake. 98.1% of the variance in online shopping habit score. The remaining is explained by other predictors variables. Okay, And then we can also report the adjusted R squared. Okay, if the sample size is small, in this case saya pilih sample size agak kecil lah, so you can report the adjusted R squared. And then if you want to make a comparison with other models, okay. And then this is the result of the ANOVA. ANOVA test the overall significance of the model. Okay, so the sig value, okay, less than 0.05, less than 0.05. So the model is highly significant and can be used to explain or predict online shopping habits. Okay, so this is the analysis of the coefficient. Okay, so as you can see that all the independent variables are significant, okay, less than 0.05. Okay, so how to interpret all variables are significant and should be included in the model. Okay, standardized beta coefficient indicates which variables are important to the model by looking at the largest value. Okay, but we ignore the negative signs. From the output, factor convenience makes the largest unit contribution to the model. So we refer to the standardized coefficient beta here. Okay, the larger the standardized coefficient beta, meaning that the particular independent variable contribute most in changes of the dependent variable. In this case is the factor of convenience. Okay, next, okay, if we want to determine whether the two categorical variables are associated, we can run the chi-squared test for independence. To run the chi-squared test for independence, at least 80% of cells should have expected frequencies of 5 or more. Okay, for example, let's say if you want to determine is there any association in preference of online shopping for clothes with gender. So for demonstration, okay, let refer to the online shopping habits data. Test whether is there any association in problem of online shopping with gender. Okay, so you can go to analyze. Okay, choose descriptive statistic and then go to cross tab. Okay, row. Okay, you can choose gender and then column. Okay, choose problem. Okay, and then click display cluster bar chart. Okay, and then for statistic you choose chi-squared, continue, and then for cells, okay, let's say we tick the percentage, row, column and total, continue, and then click OK. Okay, so this is the result of the cross tabulation or the chi-squared test. As mentioned before, the frequency of each cell is supposed to be at least 5. Okay, in this case the two cells, okay, are less than 5, okay, due to the number of sample for male is equal to 8. Okay, so there's a possibility that there is a cell which is less than 5. Okay, but never mind, in this case I just want to show you how to read the output. Okay, for the chi-squared test, as you can see that, okay, we refer to the the continuity correction because this is 2 times 2 table. Okay, the sig value is equal to 0.869, which is greater than 0.05, indicate that there is no association, okay, between gender and the problem while conducting online purchase. Okay, so this is how you can interpret. There is no relationship between problem with online shopping and gender as shown by the sig value. Okay, you can mention sig value equal to 0.869 greater than 0.05. Okay, the proportion of gender is not equal. Okay, as you can see that the percentage of the female and male, okay, are not equal. Okay, so therefore the result can be improved if the information for male respondent is proportionate as female respondent. Okay, but overall from this test you can see that there is no association or there is no relationship between problem with online shopping and gender.